do you know what? It's wonderful to actually physically be places. So it's a delight to be here down in Cape Town at the AfriCom AfriTech Festival in 2022. So who is Cloudflare is a really good question. Cloudflare exists to make the internet a safer, more private, faster, more resilient place for every person in humanity. We've built a global cloud network that operates in 275 locations in 150 countries around the world. What we're trying to do is make cloud services accessible for everyone. So 95% of the world's population, internet connected population, is within 60 milliseconds of a Cloudflare co-location. So what we do is really categorized in 4 areas. So number 1 is cloud application protection. So the sort of thing that you would typically feel that a CDN provider would offer. You know, web application firewall, content caching, denial of service, that sort of thing. The second area that we play very, very heavily in is protecting users and the applications in which they access. So things like secure access service edge, zero trust network access. The third area is around networks. So we operate one of the largest global networks in the world, actually interconnected with more cloud properties and other networks than any other vendor in the market. We operate over 11,000 interconnections globally. And what that enables us to do is offer our customers network as a service, firewall as a service, and things like anti-denial of service protection at lightning speed. And then finally, the fourth area that we're playing is around developer services, to enable developers to operate very rapid deployment of applications globally, to store data in a very cost-effective way, and to operate development environments in a way that no one else on the market can do. Well, you know, our mission is to make the internet a better and safer place for everyone. So we've been making investments in Africa for many, many years, and we operate our physical hardware within co-location all the way around the African continent, from Algeria to Zaire. We have locations. In fact, actually here, I'm glad to say, in Cape Town, we have our technology co-located with the major internet service providers in Cape Town, in Durban, in Johannesburg. So business is very, very good, because what we're seeing is a massive amount of digital transformation coming from the African subcontinent. And really, you have to consider Cloudflare as being where innovation happens. We provide environments for wonderful people to make wonderful stuff to further the interests of humanity and improve the economy for the African people. Well, everybody is on a digital transformation journey. If you're a digitally native business, you're probably born in digital transformation. Everything's in the cloud, everything's mobile, your employees are empowered. But for the vast majority of organizations, they're grappling with the legacy of the infrastructure that they've been built up over decades in some cases. So that, for them, is where they need to talk with Cloudflare and talk with our partners so they can understand where can we accelerate their journey to digital transformation. But really, what's on the minds of CIOs and senior executives that I talk to is that they're facing 2 opposing forces. One is the need to transform digitally and, you know, bring products to service, products to market quicker, help their employees have a kinder workplace, you know, address things like the green, you know, challenges around, you know, environmental, social, and responsibility. So those are the transformative powers. But the opposing forces are the forces of the increased threat vector that people are seeing. Since the end of COVID, we've seen a massive increase in the theft of identities in order to get access to networks and to cause damage to organizations. So those 2 opposing forces are really where Cloudflare plays very, very strongly. Well, you know, the threat landscape in Africa is very similar to the threat landscape globally. You know, we're facing a massive increase in social engineering attacks. You know, the technologies that people have been using for the last 20 years that are based around castle and moat architectures are really not effective at dealing with today's threats. And that's borne out by independent analysis. So we look at the Verizon Data Breach Investigations Report, which has seen a massive increase in social engineering attacks. We look at the CDR Cyber Threat Report, where they interviewed 1,200 security professionals globally in 2022, and they ask a very simple question: have you been successfully attacked last year in 2021? And globally, 85.6% of senior professionals said yes, they had been successfully attacked last year. In South Africa, that number right now is 84%. But either way you look at it, if I was living in a neighbourhood where I asked my neighbours the question, have you been successfully broken into last year? And 84 or 85% of them said yes. I wouldn't be thinking about getting a better log. I'd be thinking about completely re-looking at the way I address security. And that's what Cloudflare plays in. So we deal with, traditional security has failed businesses, and that's why we've innovated in that area. Then if you look at the cost of an attack, and if you look at the IBM Ponemon research around the cost of a data breach, it's in the millions. So you have a high chance of being broken into, and it's going to cost you millions. That is not success, my friend. So that's why Cloudflare exists, to make the world a better place. Do you know what? It's a two-way street. We've learned so much from CIOs and executives, and also everybody who's met us. We aim to make the world a better place. We can't do that by ourselves. So working with our partners and our customers, we're delighted to be here at AfriTech 2022. Thank you very much indeed.